what's going on, guys? How are we doing? Jeremy, what is new, man?
Good, good, good. I gotta get rid of this stupid ad.
I have to turn my volume up here. Let me check here. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Let me check my.
All right, okay, now I can actually hear you.
Oh, I hear my echo. All right, let me just check my.
All right, can you hear me?
I hear
Yes, no, maybe so.
Let me.
But you're echoing though, or is that me? Oh, that's me. Oh, that's me in there in the background. Okay, yep, I got you. Little technical difficulties there, boys and girls, but we are good to go. And we are cooking with grease. There we go. Man, what is going on, guys? Happy Thursday. We did it again. It's another week. We got Jeremy Stoll on the show right here. And he has something that he has pretty dang cool in the background. We're going to talk about that bird right there. So get ready because we got some cool stuff to talk about. We got that nice looking F16 back there, which is a turbine jet, which is cool. And then we're going to talk about a couple of things and everything like that. So I'm super excited, super stoked. I'm just glad it's Thursday, to be honest with you. This week has flown by, and I get to the weekend because I get to fly some more. So, Jeremy, so what's going on, my friend? What do you got going on? What's new in your neck of the woods?
Recovering. We had a fantastic event this last weekend at that Bonneville Jets event that we had talked about on the live. We showed you guys out there what it was like at the Salt Flats. The things that we get to enjoy out there in Utah.
Man,
Apologize for the signal out there. You get what you get, and it was nice that we were able to actually get out there and show you guys some of that cool awesomeness that was out there. So we took advantage of that. We had 3 days of fantastic fun from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It was blazing hot Thursday. Friday was ridiculous, and then Saturday was just outrageous. So
yeah.
But we did good, so that's why I look like a reverse raccoon right now.
Hey, man, it's that time of the year, you know.
It is. But it was a great time out there. We got to fly all kinds of good stuff. But the biggest and greatest thing is we were able to get the maiden flight plus 15 flights on the JOS 39 Gripen that you guys had seen here many days. It was awesome. So what I got to tell you, it was awesome. It flew great. It flew on rails. And if you could imagine what a Ferrari in the air would be like, that is it.
That's a good way to put it.
It was perfect. It looked great. You know, we did that. We had a whole highlight of great products out there, great planes, and great friends. And so, you know, we miss you all that weren't able to make it, but that would be, you know, you got to go next time. So,
man, what kind of turnout did you guys have while y'all were doing that?
The turnout was kind of an interesting way to say it. So on Thursday, we had a whole bunch of people that weren't there on Friday.
All right.
And then the people that were there on Friday, a lot of them weren't there on Saturday, but some were there on Thursday. So I would say on average, each day was probably 30-ish people.
Oh, man. Okay. It's pretty good turnout.
As you can see on the post that we did, we got a photo of everybody on there. But I want to share something absolutely cool. Okay. I was able to organize a KC-135 flyover of our event.
Really?
So it's pretty cool. So we actually had a full-scale 135 that flew over, and absolutely fantastic. It was cool. So that doesn't happen at a lot of events. And so kudos to the 151st that was able to hook us up on that. So pretty cool.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool that you actually you got them to do an actual flyover. I mean, that's some pull right there, because that just doesn't happen, you know?
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't happen. And it did, and it was super cool. And so we were able to, you know, knock it off. We had the airspace clear. We did air boss situation, squared it away. It was pretty cool.
Nice. What happens when you have a flyover like that? I guess you have to clear the air, or I mean, like what happens with that?
Well, as we all know, full scale takes priority, right?
Absolutely.
So That being said, the 135 had priority. So we had it all scheduled for time frames. We were in direct communication, and it worked out great.
Nice. Very,
So,
very nice. Well, that sounds like it was a pretty cool. It sounds like it was a good event. By the way, that's out there in the Salt Flats, right?
yeah. So there, okay, I want to make sure you guys understand. There's the Salt Flats that everybody knows from the movies and racing and all that stuff. That is further to the west than us by about 45 minutes to an hour or so. Okay. This is essentially a dirt salty mixture that ends up becoming a smooth surface that is just absolutely perfect for everything from maiden flights, unknowns, everything, full size,
Wow.
big size, small size, all in all, it works out great. So it was neat.
Man. Well, while we're talking about some events and everything like that coming up, let's see here. I just got some notification of an event coming up. Boom. Nebraska Ejetfest, June 14, 2025, 1 p.m. at the 138th and 4th Street in Standing Bear Lake. And that's going to be by Omaha Hawks RC Club at Hawks Field. Guys, check that out. That's a nice little shot of that runway right there, 500-foot runway. And that was brought to you. Omaha Air Defense is the one who told me about this. So he just sent me this right here. And I was going to shout that out to you guys. If you're in the area close to it, man, come out there. And that's an E-Jet event, dude. So that's going to be pretty cool. And look, your airplane made the cut right there on their flyer. Check that out. We got a L-39, got a, what is that, a B-1B. And then we've got looks like a MiG-29 right there. So, boom. And look, there's no entry fee and you get a free lunch. Like, what more do you want, guys? So check that out. Nebraska Ejetfest, brought to you by Omaha Air Defense is the one who dropped that to me. And so, boom, there you guys have it. So
absolutely, do what you guys can. Like, we can put a little blurb out there for anything, but show support to your local communities, guys. That's always that's how they build upon each other, and the networking is amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one thing that's cool, man. Jeremy, when you go to these events and stuff like that, like, do you not like get the networking vibe and everything, and everybody's just cool, relaxed, everybody's having a good time? There's no crazy animosity or nothing like that. It's just a good time, is it not?
For the most part, there are events that we have been to, Kyler and I, to where it's super standoffish, and that's absolutely unacceptable. But
really,
but what it all comes down to is getting past egos and having a good time. Have a good time, share what you guys can, help each other out, and obviously show off. That's what they're fun. Go show off, have some fun.
Have some fun, dude. Go out there, show your big birds off and everything, and fly, crash, and repeat, and all that good stuff right there. So, Omaha Air Defense, that's for you, big dog. Certainly appreciate you. He's a good guy, by the way. And certainly anytime you need me to shout something out like that, that is good for the hobby. He's good for the hobby. Appreciate it. Yep, I remember said the salt flats look like a big concrete slab in one of Jay's videos. That's funny.
It's almost the equivalent depending on the day.
Really?
Yeah. So if you go out there after it rains, it can be a soupy mess. But shortly after that, it becomes an absolute just smooth, leveled surface. And then if you let it go even further than that, then you get just this little itty bitty salt crust that grows on the top that just works out too. It's really quite unique. I mean, it's unlike anything else. There's people that fly off of some dirt flats or whatnot down in Vegas area. It's nothing like this. It's got its own appeal, and we're lucky enough to have that. So.
Well, while we're talking about unique airplanes, man, let's just go ahead and talk about it, dude. I'm tired of looking at it. It is the coolest stream I've ever seen. The 1/8.5 jet ruler F16 turbine jet back behind you guys. Look at that.
There you go.
When you say 1/8.5 scale, like, what is the actual wingspan on that?
So the wingspan is exactly 52.9 inches.
Okay.
And then the fuselage is 71.3. So let's just skip the points, guys. You got a 53-inch wingspan, and you got a 72-inch fuselage. This is on the smaller side of the turbines. when everybody understands 8th scale, again, that's the smaller side of everything. But it's not too small. So if you've ever seen any of the AF model airplanes or whatnot,
Yeah.
they're very similar in the sky, or size-wise. HSD F16, right, per se, that is similar in size, okay? It's all relative to about that same size there. Compared to a Freewing 90, this is way bigger. So not anywhere near the difference on there. So I believe that the Freewing 90 is comparable to either a 10th or a 12th scale size.
Okay.
If I'm so a bit
Okay.
different. So weight wise, you're looking at about 18 pounds empty on this airplane. So I mean, there's the difference there too. And then you got jet power, right?
Wow.
So 18 pounds means nothing to a jet. So heavier actually kind of flies a lot better in scale airplanes. So kind of a neat little statistic there, a feel. But yeah, let's talk about this thing. So you guys have seen me talk about, and you've seen on the videos, many videos of our F-16s in the 1/8 scale. Absolutely, they've been some great flying airplanes. They are the hobbyist side of the big airplanes, right? So we've talked about this before, where there's kind of a dividing line between an airplane that's built for you and already ready to go pretty much, and then you get to the point where you have an airplane that's built for you, but you still have things to do with it.
Right.
The hobbyist part, right? So once you get past 90 mil airplanes, right, that easy part is all done for you.
I agree.
Right. Once you get up to, I mean, up to 90 mil, right? Easy going. You got planes that are even, bind and fly, and you can go on a lot of those, right? But you get into the 105 and above, and we've said this before, you have a little bit of hobbyist that you've got to, cookies. No, but why did you distract me? No, but anyway, 105 and above, you still have things you got to do, like you got to design your battery tray. You got to design your where you're going to put your electronics, right?
Right.
You have to essentially set up landing gear. You have to do your doors, right? So if you want to do a door sequencing that's different than anybody else, you're going to have all of that. But you got small little things that you got to change or modify because we're hobbyists, right?
Right.
And but the airplane comes pretty much ready to go. I mean, you got some things to do, some organizing of wires, right? I mean, that's all stuff that we're used to. But any plane from this and larger, you're going to find that exact same role that you have to play on there. But that's just what it is. But here we go. 8th scale. This thing is just absolutely phenomenal. We've talked about this before. But look at this thing. I mean,
I really like
that.
that.
Is amazing. I'm going to roll this closer to the side so that we can show you that top scheme with just tilting the gear and all that stuff. So look at this thing. I mean,
dude, I want one.
Absolutely amazing. Jet Ruler is killing it. Just so you guys know, these are not stickers. That is painted airplane.
That's paint?
Okay.
Man.
That is all painted.
Hey, by the way, Omaha Air Defense has a good question. He says, I wonder if you can stick a 110 millimeter in it.
You can put it in there, but is it going to be enough thrust for you?
I don't know. What's it weighing in at? Do you know off the top, maybe?
Like I said, almost 18 pounds empty weight. So
a 110 would actually, as long as you've got 16, 17 pounds of thrust, you'd be okay. He has a hard surface too, so I think he could get away with it.
So the big factor between EDF and turbine is intake and exhaust. An EDF needs an incredibly large amount of intake air, right? And you can get that with having the doors open and the intake open and all that, right? But jet turbine does not need to have as much airflow into those. And the reason why is because you've got fuel that's getting burned that equals the consumption. So as long as it's got enough air to keep the fuel going, or the fire and all that going, then you get the thrust.
Right.
Does that make sense? Hopefully that kind of draws point on there. But people all the time make turbine jets into EDFs. So am I saying it's not possible?
Yeah, I was going
No.
to say it sounds like it's definitely possible.
But at what extent and how hard are you going to work to do it?
Right.
Right. So there's the thought in my
man,
bundle of information.
Well,
but anyway, no.
The thing is, we've got some guys that don't fly turbines or they can't fly turbines, and so they still want to purchase this airplane. So they're trying to see if it's something that's viable for them. So,
well, I got you.
What Jeremy's saying is it's basically built for turbines. Wow, look at that!
Look at this cockpit.
Okay.
I mean, if any of you guys know F16s,
man,
I mean, it is right on
Dunn
there.
says paint scheme looks awesome. Bill Wagner says I'd love an EDF of a larger scale, dude. Guys, could y'all imagine if they came out with an EDF like that and maybe like a 90 millimeter or an 80 millimeter size? That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
It would be neat.
Jake Custer was wondering the same thing that Omaha was, right? Man, and Bill Wagner says he loves that flat paint job. That's cool.
I mean, this thing's beautiful. Let's flip it to the other side.
It is.
You got a burner light already installed.
I like that.
You got your actual anti-K. You got your marking lights. You got wingtip lights, intake lights. So they've got all the bases covered on there except for a nose door landing light. So
Omaha, you're dead right, dude. 120 millimeters is what's going to make that thing rotate. No problem.
Yeah, see, 120 might be right in the right track. Now we're talking. Now you were saying 110. I don't know if that was going to make it or not.
Yeah. Big Nasty says, "Is this?" He says, "This is something that makes grown men drool right there." I agree. It makes grown men look at their in their pockets and their wallets, wondering, "Can we pull this off?" Without
How
the
much
wife
debt are we going in for this?
Yeah, exactly. Or who's going to find out that I spent this much on it? Man.
But anyway, I mean, they did a fantastic job. Your nose cone comes off here, off of the pin.
That is cool.
It's going to be beautiful when we get this thing in the air. It's already beautiful as is, but I mean,
I'm super. Awesome. I can't wait to see that. What are you going to throw in there, like a Sui 180 or something like that, or are you going to go with the 102?
Absolutely. The Sui 180 is like the right feel for this airplane. It is gobs of power, but yet you're not having to overpower idle thrust.
Right. Okay.
But I would say absolutely do not go more than a 102 in here.
Okay. I tell you, Banana Hobby keeps bringing good quality stuff to the market, like Jet Roller. I've been telling people for a while, and it's true, and you can see Banana Hobby has been making brands and it's interesting too because nobody knew anything about fly fans. Nobody knew about that. Nobody knew about what was it? What's the other brand?
Fly.
Yeah, X-Fly. Nobody heard of X-Fly before that. Now it's a household name. Nobody heard of Jet Roller. Now people are hearing that. You know what I mean? So it's like one of the things they keep bringing good quality stuff up to the market, and it's cool. I'm not hearing any gripes or any bad things about it at all. So that's kind of cool. And now let me ask you this:
the thing is we've got manufacturers that are absolutely for the hobby right now, and it's amazing. So take advantage of that, guys. They're really killing it. We're really working hard to try and bring you good stuff. We just got to get it across the water, Speaking of which, there's going to be some good stuff coming, guys, real soon. So please be ready. You're going to have a good time here shortly.
Yeah, and we're talking about multiple good airplanes hitting the docks at one time.
Yeah, but again, we got this thing here as fast as we could, so we can end up getting some marketing on it, and then try and bring it to Jets Over Kentucky. So if you are going to Jets Over Kentucky, you should be able to see this awesome bad plane here. There, you're going to see our Gripen. You're going to see our L-39. You're going to see the other F-16s we have. You're going to see the big Pilot 1/5 F-16. Bunch of our AF model airplanes. We're going to be bringing a ton of airplanes now that we've got this trailer that can haul everything. It's going to be great. So lots of cool things. Another thing, let's talk about this real quick. I'm going to scoot around here. This airplane also has the option to be purchasing a wing bag system with it that works for everything. Man, this whole back and forth is funny. So nice wing bags on there that are really good, but you got a body bag.
Oh man, so that's cool.
Check this out.
Look, that
This
seems to be
is-
like the thing I'm seeing now. Body bags for the airplanes. That didn't used to be a thing.
This is absolutely cool too. I have one of these for our Jet Ruler L39, and man, it is amazing. You just slide the airplane in there, and it protects your paint. It protects from dust and dirt. Man, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So you can get these too, guys. So pretty cool. If you already have one, they're made. They're ready to go. So should be able to get some of them here soon too. So pretty dang cool.
For us grass flyers out there, that front nose gear, what do you think about that? Is it doable or not? RC Flying Veteran says, I'm worried about that front gear door on tall grass taking it off. Had issues with free-wing F16 at my field ripping off gear doors.
We have told them to beef up the structure within the actual fuselage. So it should be a good candidate. Now, again, okay, let's time out here.
Yep, you got to say it. I know what you're going to say. So go ahead and say it. Disclaimer.
What is considered grass, right?
Yeah.
I have seen people's fields that are like golf course amazing, right? That is grass, right? I love that, right?
Right.
But you guys have seen our video where I tried to fly the AF Models Raptor off of grass.
Oh, now that grass was like roughage. That was the rough.
That was awful. That was awful, but it was grass, right? So people,
that was rough.
there is a limit of grass.
Yeah, for sure.
All right,
for sure.
So it just depends. Now, if you're trying to fly this jet off of something that has an absolute awful amount of roughage or
right,
then that's your own prerogative. You're probably not going to survive, right? But if you've got a field that has good enough manicured grass that is what you could actually consider a field, then it probably will do just fine.
I'm looking at that wheel. It's not going to have any problems rotating off of like the 1/4 inch or an inch of grass for sure, especially with the 80 in there.
But again, there's also the caveats, right?
Right.
Don't land it like a dum-dum.
Right.
Right.
You got to land it right, man.
I mean, any airplane can have landing gear that ends up having a problem, even on not AstroTurf, but asphalt. You know what I mean? So it really all depends. So that's always the trick question. Is it for grass? It could be.
Right.
If you've got good grass.
Hi, Omaha said, yeah, Will, LOL. Will be here shortly too, by the way. I don't know if this is going to be Will rated. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. He's not here and he can't defend himself. So, yeah. I don't know if that's going to.
I had to clean the lens. I looked a little blurry right there.
There you go. There you go. But no, man, that's like I said, that's another great one right there from Banana Hobby. And I think you guys are going to have a good hit.
It just the scheme. So the scheme, right? Obviously beautiful, and we've all been agreeing with that.
Right.
It is available in a 1/6 size also, but you have to pre-order that. So you have to call or contact Banana Hobby or send an email to sales@bananahobby.com, and you can discuss the details that way. So again, price-wise should be very similar to what you're already seeing on the website. But again, sales@bananahobby.com if you want to get one of these pre-ordered. And then they'll be able to give you exactly the current price of what it is, because we are all under the influence of a potential tariff change and containers and whatever. So
I'm liking what I'm seeing, man.
What it is.
Hey, can I see the bay where the turbine goes inside of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to see. I've been really impressed with how well the F-16s are flying. Like, they are amazing.
Right, so here's the hatch, right?
Fiberglass?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
Bigger for you guys. There we go.
Which way do I got to go? This way. There you go.
Nice.
Absolutely nice. Kevlar fuel tank. Everything is pretty much pre-done for you for everything. So
yeah, that looks good.
Fantastic. Here, let's flip it this way since I already have it in my hands. Let's give you the gear look.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Looks like a pretty strong structure in there and everything. Yep. through and through.
I mean, they did a good job. So
Yeah, I think that front landing gear will be perfectly fine.
So
Yeah.
again, with every airplane, right? Our manufacturers are doing their best to do everything as perfect as they can, right?
Right.
But we always want you to inspect everything. You know, inspect everything you possibly can because we're all human, right?
For the most part. For the most
when
part.
when I drive, I forget to turn my turn signal on all the time. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I get it. Hey, there's sometimes where you got to have that human factor going on there. But needless to say, Jeremy, that's a nice bird. I like the size. I love that size because it's easy to transport. It's not overly big, and you can pretty much stick it in any field and fly it pretty much anywhere. So that might be a good candidate.
Absolutely, set the airplane up on a aileron setup.
Yeah.
So your back surfaces are aileron and elevator, and then you want flapper on setup for your wings, but turn down your ailerons so that they are less ailerons.
Right.
And that airplane is a big, beautiful airplane. So pretty cool.
So
it's got screws, Bill. 4 screws. They're underneath.
So it's got
4 screws and they're quick.
Little 4 screwer going on. Okay, that's not terrible. Let me ask you this now. Let's get into something different. Let's talk about now, how does a container delivery work? So for people, I was having this conversation with the guy today, and he didn't understand how like containers work. And I'm like, oh, it's pretty easy. They just load them up with airplanes, and then they put them on a container ship. They ship them at sea. They get to the port. They sit at the port for a little bit, go through customs, and then they get released, and then they get shipped out to their destination, right? But there's more to it than that. So if we get a little bit granular with it, I'm talking about how do people, like on average, how do you normally go about knowing what type of things to put in a container? So like I'm saying like Banana Hobby, for instance, like they have a mixture of airplanes in a container, right?
Depending on the container. So for an instance, when we bought the B1, we had multiple containers of only B1s.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now that's what I was wondering. I'm like, so, and how many airplanes can you fit in a container?
It all depends. It's a massive amount though.
Really? You're talking like 100, 250? I know it depends on the airplane, but
yeah, it all depends on the airplane. I mean, you can have, heck, you could have 50 to 400, you know.
So like one of let's say like the jet roller airplanes that you have, you can really load, I mean, the big ones, you know what I mean? So obviously you can only have but so many. So you're thinking like 30 of them in there, of the the big crates that come in there, or what?
I don't know. I mean, it's a very, I mean, sure. Well, you say, yeah, sure, you know.
Yeah.
But something we do different is we show you guys containers, you know. You guys see them being loaded and you see them being unloaded. You know,
Right.
we do that a lot. So
right.
if you want to see what it looks like, I mean, it's a they're really good at Tetris.
Oh yeah. I've seen some of the pictures of them, and they're like literally like packed to the brim to the point where they're flush, and it's like I don't know if you can actually pull one out, you know what I mean?
You have to know which one they put in last.
Yeah, it's like the
so
key.
You can get them all out.
Yeah, exactly. So, but on average, there'll be like multiple and the reason why I'm asking is like, a lot of people will say, well, they'll have like a couple hundred of them in stock and then they'll get sold out. So like, let's say something like hint, the J20 or the C17. How many of those do you think would be like on a container? And I'm just saying guesstimate. I mean, what you're saying is not going to be accurate, but a couple hundred. Okay. All right. That makes perfect sense. That's a lot, man, when you think of it. And you're talking like one container or multiples?
I don't know this one. I just know that we've got a ton of them coming.
Okay. You got a question right here, Jeremy. You going to bring it to open house? Please say yes.
I hope so. We're going to try and get it done.
All right.
We got an event Saturday at my field, so that's going to take a lot of my Saturday time. And then, I mean, we'll see. These jets realistically should only take a few days to get ready. So
Right.
I would see if I can get focused, uninterrupted time. Yeah, well, we could probably have it there. But I want to make sure that it gets maiden, everything's fine tuned like it should be before we go and play at the smaller field. So there was a field question I saw right there from P51 fan.
Yep.
So he says, what is the reality of that jet as a first turbine for an experienced EDF pilot with lots of turbine pilots and a 600-foot paved runway? So this airplane, absolutely, with experienced pilotry, should be easy. 600 feet. My runway that you guys see us doing a lot of the banana hobby on there, that's 700 feet.
Okay. And you don't even
do we run off the runway on that? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
These jets with the brake systems inside this airplane stop in 100 feet if you want to, right?
Man.
So yeah, I mean it could be. Now do I recommend this absolutely as a first beginner airplane? I would probably venture into a AF Models foam airplane first. That way, if you do have a rough learning curve, you have the ability to get parts easier, if that makes any sense. So
that makes sense. Keith Dunn says, what state is your field in, Jeremy? Aren't you in Utah?
Yeah, we're in Utah, northern Utah. The address, if you happen to want to look, is 8825 West, 900 South in Ogden.
Boom. Now, you hit on something earlier that we were talking about some of the airplanes and stuff like that. And I've noticed I was on the Facebook forums in there, and I was looking at a lot of the conversations people were having. And it's just one of the things I think people are so forgetting, like they get the airplanes and they think like, something's wrong with it. They've heard like, ailerons are getting loose and tail sections are loose. I mean, the foam airplanes where the hinges are coming off, they get worn off and sometimes like that. And I'm like, at some point people have to understand it's a hobby. You're going to have to modify your airplane sometimes. Like there are things on your airplanes that you're going to have to just go and double check over. You're going to have to, make sure things are good prior to flying, right? Like you can't fully just think you're going to buy something out of the box and it's just going to be ready to go. Like in a perfect world, that's the way we would want it to work. But as you fly these airplanes, you're going to have to double check things. You're going to have to modify certain things. You're going to have to do maintenance to your airplanes, that kind of thing. And I was just listening to this guy rant on there and I'm like, man, he was upset that like one of his aileron hinges came off when he got it out of the box. And like, he pulls it out and he's looking at it. It was an E-Flight product. And he was like, this thing should be together. People should be checking it and that kind of thing like that. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with him, but these things happen. So that's why I always keep hinge tape. I'm looking around for the hinge tape that I normally keep, but these kind of things happen in manufacturers. I think people have the understanding that each and every one of these airplanes is inspected. Jeremy, are these airplanes each and individually inspected before they go into the box?
They go through pre-checks. Now, right. What does that mean, right? So we put out a video a while ago, right? And it was showing, I want to say it was the Flyfans L39. Right. And it has essentially an assembly line of people that are focused on this portion and then the next portion and so on. And it showed them where they have the landing gear connected up and they go, wee, 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 wee. Like, I think it's like 5 times they do it or something like that, right? Obviously, they're not going to go and wear them in. If they were to go and run things to the max, you guys would get an airplane out of a box and you go, somebody's used this. You know what I mean? So you gotta kind of weigh how you guys kind of look at things out of a box, right? It's the same thing as like a vendor. A vendor does not go and open up an airplane and do checks of everything before they send it to your house. Why? Right. Because then you think that you're getting a used airplane.
Right.
You know what I mean?
See that. Yeah.
So you're at the mercy of what everybody calls the warranty, right?
Right.
So you're assembling an airplane. Everything should be working, right? But that's where ideally you're going to find something, you're going to contact the warranty, and they're going to resolve it, right?
Right.
There's no need to get mad. There's no need to create tizzy fits. There's no need to try and go and bash on Facebook groups or whatever. You know what I mean? Just because you're loud doesn't solve anything. You know, right?
Yeah. I just see that, and I'm like, a lot of times, and I'm guilty of the same thing. If I have an airplane and it's like, man, aren't people checking this? But I've been more realistic about it lately, and I guess the more we do this and the more like we fly the airplanes, there's a certain level of like realism. Being realistic about it is what we have to kind of look at. And I'm looking in the comments right there, and what did he say? Yep. Bill Johnson Henry says, Bobby, you're correct. I lost my 70 millimeter Avanti because of a left aileron servo popped clean out. I did do a check after about 15 flights. You know what I mean? And so I'm bringing this point up on the channel and on this live because check your airplanes, guys. Like after a bunch of flights, check them. Jeremy, one of my things is like, even with my turbine airplanes, every time I take it up and I do my test flight, my first flight, I land it, check, control surfaces, go through, checks for leaks, make sure everything's all attached, make sure everything's good to go. I started doing that for my EDF airplanes now, and I'm starting to catch issues before. If you guys fly the same, EDF airplanes a lot and over and over and over, you really should be checking them, just to make sure they're safe and make sure nothing's going to go.
So since we're in confessions here.
Yeah. This is the safe zone, guys. We are we're in the circle of trust here.
So the meeting on Saturday at our event, we had to do a safety all call, right?
Briefing.
We had a briefing, an advisory, right? We had 2 people at the event forget to either attach their wings bolted down or put their screws in their airplane. So it happened. So dude ended up landing, and it all of a sudden, so he lands, and all of a sudden his wing just goes and dips into the ground, and then it exploded off. Right.
Man.
And so we were all like, did he hit a divot? What happened there? I mean, that was like the oddest thing.
Yeah.
Turns out he forgot to put his wing bolts in his
it happens.
Like
it happens,
Rebel,
man.
It was. But here's part of the confession. The other person that failed to tighten his wings was myself. And
it happens, like I just said.
I fell into the exact thing you talked about 2 times ago about being interrupted in the assembly.
Yeah, man. It just happened.
It's true. It happened. And so I get up flying, and this is with the big 1/5 F16. And I'm whipping it around, having a blast. And I do this thing, and I'm like, I'm going to go for a speed pass. And then little birdie in my head said, I don't remember tightening the wings.
Isn't that the worst thing ever? Look, I have done that mid-flight, and I'm like, did I put the screws in the wing? Did I? Oh gosh, it's a terrible feeling.
I immediately backed that throttle off, and I flew it like a cub.
Yeah.
But I got it down on the ground, and rest assured, the wings had not separated. But I goofed.
Yeah.
So, and the best part is everybody, right?
Right.
We try to learn from other people's mistakes, right?
That's right. That's right. And
that's
the whole point of me telling these stories and telling people this, because I'm going to save somebody's airplane. If I save one person's airplane from that kind of goof, from me telling the story of that, or seeing RC Pilot Will's A10 with him landing it in the wing with no bolts in it, and it saves somebody's, then my job is done here. Like I'm good, I'm good.
Hey, look, we got a question right there that's a hot topic from Gary Russell. Did Banana Hobby have a bad reputation 5 years ago?
Yes.
It
did. Yeah.
Yes, we did.
That's right? No secret.
But I sure hope that I'm helping turn it around. I'm hoping you guys are seeing honest feedback. You guys are seeing absolutely that our owner, Carrie.
Look, Carrie's in the mix. She's in here actually right here.
She's absolutely killing it, guys. And I'm going to embarrass her right now.
There's Carrie. She's in here right now. Look at her.
She's in here right now. She's going to kill me later. All right. You ready? She really does care about all of you guys as hobbyists.
I would agree.
And I'm not saying that to get you to buy anything. Okay. That's a no buy thing. Behind the scenes, she absolutely cares about what you guys are. If she wanted to, she would just say, hey, forget you guys, I'm done. But here's the kick. She is here for you guys, and that's what it is. So don't hate me, Carrie.
She goes, haha.
And the best part is, and I'm not going to try and say anything, but she's brought me into this, and I'm trying to be as real as I can with you guys, you know, and that's it. I'm an average pilot like you guys.
Yeah.
I may have a little bit better than a few of you, but I'm not trying to be anything that's fake. You guys see us in real time. You see us doing real everything, uncut video. I mean, you don't get that anywhere else. You
really don't.
Fine, polished, edited stuff. We're trying to give you guys the real aspect of this hobby, and hopefully you enjoy that. So we appreciate you guys.
And so, by the way, just to answer the questions, because it's good we're having this conversation, because people kind of need to know the history of banana hobby in order to see where it's at, to really appreciate like where it's at right now. Because I agree. 5 years ago, this was a completely different business. And I don't even know if people even know the history of this, but long story short, and I'll make this very quick, but it was being run into the ground by the person who was running it at the time. Carrie kind of noticed that it was not going the way it should have. And so she literally pretty much cleaned house of everybody and started over brand new, and took the customer service like completely personal and completely, serious. And that's why you're seeing the changes that you have now. And that's why you're seeing that when you have these issues, I mean, she's getting involved and she's literally trying to fix it. And I'll say it, and she's probably not going to like that. I'm going to say this, Jeremy.
Yeah,
but guys,
she's going to get mad at me later.
Oh, she's going to get mad at me too. And
it's for you, Bobby.
Okay. Hopefully,
but we love you. We love you, Carrie.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you business anyway. But no, honestly, she's one of those people, and I mean this, guys, and I'm not just saying that because like, I'm wearing a hat or anything like that, but this is just the God's honest truth. She actually takes it personal when somebody goes on to Facebook and they make a personal attack about, banana hobby or something like that. It literally bothers her. Am I wrong, Jeremy? You've seen it. It personally bothers her. So she tries extremely hard to make sure that this ship is running smoothly and that everything is good to go and it could be the very best. That's why she's over here, got Jeremy testing airplanes and stuff like that. It's really unconventional when you think about it. But anyway, I don't want to give her a big head. You know what I mean? I don't want her to feel like, you're schmoozing her up, whatever. But it's the truth. And it's and honestly, banana hobby is much better for it. So there you go. We got Carrie in the mix.
The honest truth.
Yeah.
And like I said, again, we're doing what we can for you guys. We were tired of you guys getting airplanes that you couldn't do anything with.
Yeah.
And that goes for every brand, right?
Yeah.
So we're trying to hopefully give a good shimmer of light of things to do positive in the hobby, right?
Hey, look, one of these days I'm gonna have her on this show, man. I'm like gonna have her on here. We gotta have her on here. One of these days, Carrie, we're gonna have you on this show, and there's nothing you can do about it. We're just gonna have you on here, and
come to Jets Over Kentucky, everybody. Carrie will be there.
She will be there, and you actually get to meet her. And look, you will be surprised. That's all I'm gonna say. You will be surprised. She's a very nice lady. So I've talked to her multiple times, and it's just been fun. She's just a good, normal person. So, hey, she just dropped some information, guys. Check this out. A large shipment of X-Fly C-17s, B-1s, Twin Otters, Pilot RC jets, Aerofoam jets, Jet Ruler jets have just arrived. Boom.
See, I didn't know if I could say that, but the boss
Boom.
just said so. So
Boom. Boom, 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 boom.
So there you
They're
go,
all in
guys.
there.
Updates are going to be happening.
Yeah. So they're here. And I just say get ready, guys, because there's going to be a bunch of nicer, like the J20s, the C17s. They're all dropping. They're all here. Those long times we've been waiting for stuff like this to get here. It's now here. So pretty cool.
And again, we apologize for how long it took.
Yeah.
But we could not make it to where you guys were paying 400% on something. That just doesn't work. So,
right. And she said the J20 will arrive soon, guys. So look, that's just one of those things where it's cool. And the thing about this channel that's neat is that, like, where else are you going to be able to speak to the owner of a company, right? Like, and talk about the airplanes and talk about all the the things that are going on, the intricate parts of the business and everything. Like, you guys are getting something that a lot of people don't get to see. Show me on Horizon Hobby where you get to see this, right? Show me on Motion RC where you actually have the owners and coming in and speaking and stuff like that. So, it's just kind of neat to kind of see that kind of thing, where you can kind of see the back end of it. Keith Dunn says she might be the only girl to tune in to Bobby's show. That's a good question. Have I ever had any other girls tune into the show? I really don't think so. Right?
You can't ask that anymore.
I know, man. Jeez. But I'm certainly happy. John Perry, what's going on? He says if she tunes in to watch the show's really cares about us RC flyers. He's absolutely right. So Flyer Mikey says BH was like another Nitro planes. They were back in the day, and Nitro planes kind of they switched up.
Well, I got a Facebook memory the other day, which really took me back. It was like 14 years ago.
Man, that's a long time.
It was me flying one of the LX Lexang F16 Fighting Falcons.
Oh boy,
with a camera on the nose.
I saw that.
That was a take me back. And the funny thing was, you see me take off, and then I have to pull back the throttle, hit the gear so that the intake doesn't pull the door shut. Then I get to go and play around, and then right before landing, I gotta get some speed, pull the throttle back.
Oh yeah,
let the gear come out, and then throttle up again. I mean, it was hilarious, but it was, LX planes. They had a lot of great ideas, right? Back when I started, man, that was like I was always admiring the LX airplanes because they had a lot of great ideas. I mean, they had the F16, the F4,
they had them all.
The YF-23. They had that black Russian airplane with the wings that are forward. I don't even know what that number is anymore, but I mean, they had some really interesting, cool stuff at the time.
They did,
but man, you really had to mess around with it to get it right. But
you did.
But that was the start of it all, right? So if you look at that, that was the beginning of everything we have now. Really, it really was. I mean, it may have been crap, but it was really the start of all. You know what I mean? Because the beginning before that was a nitro powered ducted fan that was the most obnoxious thing in the world.
Look, dude, Carrie's over there dropping more hints over here. Fly Fans will release a new 6S 64mm jet soon. Please stay tuned. Again, that's another thing, and I'm not going to say anything. I know what it is, but I'm not going to say anything. Jeremy, you know what it is. We're not going to say anything at all.
It's right. It's right over here.
It's right there.
It's not here yet, guys. I apologize. It's not here yet.
Dunson Henry says Bobby brings all the boys to the yard. Let's see. Oh man, dude. Let's see. Hopefully it's as good as the L39. I'm quite sure.
Absolutely. Dustin, it absolutely has retracts. It's got lights. It's got everything. And it's going to be cool.
Carrie said the LX jets were absolutely terrible. She said they were terrible. You know what, though? Out of the LX jets, that F-17, the F-117, I'm like, man, that was a cool jet. That was so neat for back in the day. And, I kind of wish, man, we had something cool like that,
Well, that would be really fun.
Yeah. Let's see. Lionel Randall says, wow, Carrie, I can't wait to hear what it is. Snow River over here, he says, remember when Horizon Hobby used to tune into the show? Those were the good old days. Yeah, they did. Horizon Hobby used to listen to to our show and sit in the back of the room, and they would just come up with stuff. Very, very interesting.
That's good.
Oh yeah, I'm all for it.
It's absolutely good for every single manufacturer.
Everybody
to just listen to the rambling of the community, right?
You got to. I
mean, that's what it is.
Yep.
I mean,
and I hope they're in the back of the room listening too, because there can be a lot to be said right here. As Addison, what's going on? Yep, said hit the like button, guys. There we go. Boom.
Look, they came out. They came out with that
lady in the room,
right?
Right.
I have that little B2. That thing's a fun little flyer.
Oh, for sure.
I also learned that not to fly it without the fin.
Right. Right.
But it's fun. So.
Esme Addison right there. That's actually my sister, boys and girls. She's in the mix. How fun is
another
that?
girl on here.
Now we got two. That's two. Man, we're doing pretty good, man. I say we're getting squared away over here.
One of my girls is here too.
Oh,
so
look at that
right here.
Look at
my
there.
Daisy.
Yeah,
she's my Daisy girl.
Always a pleasure to see you in here in the mix, by the way. So that's always fun. But yeah, guys, I'm going to hit the like button right there. Carrie says they're going to have an F-22, F-18, F-35, F-86, MiG-17. Make a guess. Which one is coming to the market? Man, I swear, this is fun. This is definitely fun. Let's see here.
Without giving it away, we've got a lot of really good stuff in the books. So.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, we got RC Pilot Will just pop in. What's going on?
What's up, man?
What are you doing, dude?
Hey. Just got back from picking up dinner for the kids and stuff, man. So yeah, had to run out to have dinner.
Well, dude, you missed quite a bit. We have Carrie and
I didn't. I was watching the whole time.
Oh, you were watching. Okay.
Yeah, I heard somebody call my name.
Oh, for sure.
We were like clicking our heels together and saying, Pilot Will should show up.
Exactly. And then out of nowhere, poof, he shows up right there. Keith Duncan.
Hey, I gave y'all a heads up. I said, here I come in the chat.
Yep. Bill Wagner says, he says, is it an F-22? Lionel Randall thinks it's an F-35. Let's see here. He says, too late. Already did. So, man, here we go. Plain Day says, don't screw it up. He says, I may be a little biased, but this show is just different in a good way. Johnson Henry, I appreciate it, man. It is. It's like we try to have a good time. We try to make it 110% genuine. There's no smoke. There's no mirrors. There's just a bunch of dudes over here having a good time talking. And, we have all these other people that pop in here. It's just a good, easy environment, man, for you guys to come in and grow and ask questions. I love it. It's always what I've wanted. I used to go to some shows that were live shows and I would sit in there and watch and I'm like, man, I'd be talking to people and then nobody would ever answer. And you're just kind of like, okay, well, maybe they just don't hear me. I just keep on going. So on my air defense says, so Bobby, brother-in-law. Yeah, you're right. Omaha's funny, man. Let's see here. Jay Custer, F-35. Let's see here. And it's definitely ill watch motions, maybe once every 2 months, but I'm here every week. I know, man. I really appreciate you guys that come in here every single week. Come hang out with us every Thursday. Have a good time, relax, shoot the bull. And man, we're just having a good old time in here. I'm laughing at these dudes in here. Charles McDaniel.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate it.
Oh, no, man. Golly. Snow River says, is it a twin 64 or a single 64? We may never know.
What show has Jeremy from Banana Hobby in it? What show?
What show from Banana? Where are you seeing that one at?
Flying Mikey.
Let's see here.
I mean, we had I had some RC airplanes in a actual movie.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm in the credits for some of the B footages. Our RC jets in it. The movie was not great.
Really? Was it like an
Yeah.
RC jet movie, like an RC airplane movie?
No, it's a real movie that's on Amazon Prime,
Huh.
and
They use the
I'm
RC
ashamed to
jets.
say, but it's yeah, we used our RC jets for some of the B-roll footage that they used, and it's called to Duty,
Huh.
and
What in the
it's
world?
rough. But rest assured, my name and a few other pilots that we have or had at the time are in the credits.
I said Will is like Candyman. You say his name 3 times and he pops up.
Yeah.
That is funny, dude. Oh my gosh.
Be
Yeah,
careful.
dude.
I used to be on the Motion RC Live, you know,
Did you
all the
really?
time. But,
Man, I forgot
yeah.
about that. I remember they used to have that. I used to catch that all the time. And then it was just at random times where I just couldn't make it. You know what I mean? It was like at the middle of the day.
I just don't have a lot of time
Yeah.
to sit and goof around. I really make a lot of effort to try and be here for this one because
Man.
we just have a fun time. You know, it really is the best environment for anybody to ask a question, and we do our best to answer it right. You know, and if we don't know, we'll do what we can to find out, and then we'll make fun of ourselves the next time.
Definitely we do. Actually, a radio pilot said Pilot Will is the weekend of RC aviation. That's funny. Man, dude, that's funny. Garfield Houston, what's going on? Good to have you back in here. Plane day. Dude, we're just having a good old time. Well, look, while we got people in here, dude, let's talk about a couple of things, man. Let's talk about popular RC airplanes for beginners, right? Coming at this one because somebody asked me a question. They were like, dude, can you just make a compilation of all the easiest model airplanes that beginners can fly? And I'm like, sure, why not, right?
I agree with that very first one.
Yep. So popular RC airplanes for beginners. You can't go wrong with the E-Flight Apprentice S15E.
I think you're forgetting
The
what
big
is that? The plane that they've got where it's got a pusher prop, high wing trainer.
Oh, the
There
Aero
you
Scout.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that needs to be on there. That is also another good one.
It didn't make the cut. And look, this was a Chat GPT, man, based off of all stats and cells and stuff. So pretty interesting.
really?
GPT don't know what they're talking about.
Basically,
You can't tear that thing up.
Hey, that's true. You have one of those and you fly that thing like it's stolen. Let's see, the FMS Ranger. I've actually had that one. That's actually a pretty good one.
Did you just say that Will has that airplane and that's what he normally flies as his warm-up plane?
This is, he'll bring it out there and he'll fly that thing. He'll literally fly that thing.
You are awful. Why would you say that about him?
Will's like, wait a minute. This may be.
Hey, look, sometimes you gotta go back and touch from the beginning.
That's true.
Humble yourself, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta go back and touch from the beginning to humble yourself. So that's what I do. I'll take the Aero Scout out there. Obviously, I'll be out there putting around with it, all that field.
Oh, yeah.
All get up.
Well, I heard you souped it up to 12S, right?
Made it 12S. I have heard people that have souped that thing up.
You imagine that thing? That thing would be a ballistic rocket, and it would sound like an angry hornet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If the motor doesn't pop right after takeoff.
P51 fan said, look, our club switched from the Apprentice to the Aero Scout for training. And that Aero Scout is an awesome flyer. I mean, it looks like a ton of fun. Let's see, the FMS Ranger, also the FMS PA-18 Super Cub. That's a big one. And the Tower Hobby Cessna 400. Here's my favorite, the Durafly Tundra V3. That V3 is an awesome flyer. And it's a 4S system. And it's got lights. It's got flaps. It's a STOL plane. A lot of bang for the buck.
What I really like about the FMS Ranger is that it's got that spring gear on the nose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty innovative idea. You know,
you like that? Us grass flyers in our imperfect fields, when you're taking off, it will bend if it hits a bump and stuff like that. But you're right. For a new person, that saves that airplane a ton of damage right there. So it is very intuitive and it's a smart idea. So whoever came up with that, you're right, Jeremy. It is good. And I don't think I've seen the Volantex Ranger 600. And I'm gonna look that one up.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah, because I'm wondering about that too myself. Let me
I
look.
never even heard of it.
I know of the Volantex brand. VOL. Yeah, Volantex Ranger 400.
Oh,
Okay.
you're gonna bring it up there, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up and show you guys. Oh, okay. I see what this thing is. That's kind of it's a pusher prop airplane. Here we go. I'll share it with you guys, and we can just take a look at that and see. I understand. It's kind of like a Bixler almost. Man, back in the day, Bixlers were the heat. Here you go, right here. So you see it right there. That's the Ranger. It's a little pusher prop airplane, all foam. Got some weird little batteries right there. So
see, I think we had something that was called like a Sky Surfer or something like that.
Yep.
I don't remember exactly. Yep. That was a while ago.
But that's a good beginner airplane. One key U-turn. If it gets too far out, you hit the button, it'll come back to you. That's smart. So
that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I'd probably pass on that one.
This takes me back to my beginner time frame because I started with a Firebird.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Oh yeah, Firebird XL. Man, I had a Firebird XL, the PVC airplane with the boom tail.
It had a Y tail.
Yeah. No.
What the heck is that called now?
Yeah.
They had a Sky Raven too, or Sky Raider, or what the heck was
dude,
that
you're
called
taking
now?
me back, man. Look, I'm about to take you back.
Yikes. Yikes. Man, a V.
Jeez.
Man, I gotta look what this was.
Dude, they had the Firebird 2s. Here, I'm about to here. There you go. Check this out. Boom. Gotta love eBay because you're still that's where I bought mine from, right there. Firebird 2.
What I had. What did I have then?
I had one of these.
That kid looked like that on the box.
Oh man, because he's rocking, he's winning.
Man, no, he's not winning.
Oh, he's angry because he crashed it. I get it.
He's not winning.
He's definitely not winning.
He's definitely not winning.
He's upset. Man, look at that though. We all started at humble beginnings. And now look at us, dude. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy to see that.
Okay, that's what I had. I had the Firebird Stratos.
Oh, okay.
That is what I had. Hobby Zone is who made it.
And then the Flight Test Tiny Trainer.
In your opinion, be your first plane.
Let's see here. Which one is that? Let me jump up to that one here. I'm gonna jump back into the comments there. And let me just roll back up there.
That is what I had.
Man, I remember those things. I remember those.
That was fun.
Wow.
But man, I got about 10 flights on that thing, and I immediately went to a Mustang and regretted it.
Keith Dunn said, leave Spicy Willet alone. Let's see. Hey guys, more voltage means less amperage. It's math.
Voltage out here.
He's right.
Take pics at me. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding.
Dude.
Y'all don't mean any harm, man.
Let's see here. Yeah. Alan G says, Carrie, thanks for answering my email. Just so everyone knows, each level of Banana Hobby plane storage rack can handle more than 66 pounds. That rack behind me right there is what he's talking about. I have my F-18, my F-22, and F-16 turbines on them. So that is absolutely good to know. 66 pounds per rack right there, dude. That's crazy. On per each little level that you can set an airplane on. Hey, Alan G, I appreciate that because I didn't know that either. So really good. George, what's going on, man? Good to have you in the mix. We're over here just chopping it up RC style over here, just taking questions right now.
You know, the best beginner airplane is that new turbine JOS 39 Gripen. No, I'm just joking.
I was going to say, I was like, that is definitely not the best beginner airplane. Yeah, that's the best beginner airplane for the seconds that you've got there. By the way, Mountain RC, he says, could an EDF, in your opinion, be your first airplane?
Well, they started with that. There was that Habu.
Yeah, you could.
So yeah, if you got that right,
and I'm not going to say any airplane, but with the simulator, you spend enough time on the simulator, and then you got guys at the field that are willing to help you. Absolutely, yeah. But what you said, like the Habu or Viper 90 or Viper 70, yeah, those are great. There's nothing. Those airplanes are no faster than any other prop plane, right? So yeah, I would say you could definitely do that.
I just wouldn't go out trying to fly it on a windy day without more experience on it.
Yeah, that's the one that gets you. So I've always understood the hardest part for people who are learning how to fly is not the actual flying part. It's the orientation of when it's coming towards you. It's the opposite, and then what it is going away. And that's what you really have to train your brain, right is left, left is right, kind of thing.
You know how I learned how to do that?
Yeah.
This is what I did. So, of course, when the plane is flying away from you, right is right, left is left. But the way I learned how to learn the orientation of when the plane is coming towards me, the plane, if the left wing, if the right wing is too low, put your stick under that wing and it lifts it back up. So whatever wing is too low, you want to put the stick under.
Right.
And of course, elevator is going to be elevator. Rudder is going to be different. So you got to think about that as well. When it's moving to the right, of course, you want to push the stick. The plane is moving to the left. You want to push the stick in the same direction the plane is going to bring it back to, to yaw it back to the right. Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, no, that's absolutely it. That's absolutely it. And I'm looking.
That has worked for me a lot, man.
Yeah,
it really worked for me a lot.
But that really is the hard part of flying. Also,
and landing, of course.
Landing, yeah, being able to understand like how to land properly is one of those things where you just got to get on the sticks and actually do it, right? It's like one of those things where you have to land because you can do it on a simulator, but that doesn't account for wind, crosswind, headwinds, wind switching, updrafts. Those weird little nuances that you have out there at the field. Bugs flying in your face, bugs biting you, bugs stinging you. You know what I mean? Those random things where you just can't really take your mind off. And then not to mention the people at the field that are talking, heckling, other airplanes flying around there, all those little nuances.
Lower.
Yeah, exactly. All those little nuances, your brain is making those micro calculations and you're trying to literally do all that at one time in real time. Yeah, it's tough, man. So that's the stuff that really you've got to get accustomed to. What do you think on that one, Jeremy?
Well, I mean, realistically, anybody could get into anything. You just got to have the skills. But yes, simulators are never going to be the exact, experience.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here. Okay.
Yeah.
Drake action going on there. Little Drake action going on there. Let's see here. Plane Day says, my first plane was an Arctic 3D Yak 54. The elevator snapped in half on my first flight. Somehow managed to fly around a pole at a baseball field. It's just very interesting to see what all we got going on. Keith Dunn says, is that the Twin Otter banana cells behind you, Bobby? The yellow one is absolutely the Twin Otter that they sell. And also I did a review on it already. And it is a killer flying airplane. It's absolutely a great flyer. It's super smooth. Go into my YouTube channel and type in Twin Otter, and you should see it. Actually, you'll see a bunch of them actually. But that is the Ukrainian version with the yellow and blue. By the way, guys, look what I got right here. Oh yeah, yep, she's back. We've got the Twimber. The Twimber is here. Look. I had to go back to this because I really like this airplane. When I first flew it, my elevator servo gave out and it crashed, right? I had to box the airplane up, all crashed up. I'm not kidding you. Horizon Hobby told me to take the airplane. They want to inspect it and throw it in a box. And I luckily had a box. I threw the crushed airplane in a box and it was totaled. And I guess they went through it and looked at it and they looked at the servo and they're like, okay, yeah, it's definitely our fault. And they sent me a new one, right? So, but this isn't the new one. So immediately, as soon as they sent me another one, I got rid of it. So I was like, you know what? There was something about this airplane that I really liked because it flew amazingly well, like every Timber does. But it being a twin, I was like, I didn't do it fair justice. And I wanted to do a good legit review of it. And and give it a second look, because every airplane has a bad day, and so you'll be seeing a good full review on that one. And we'll be putting it through its paces, because before I didn't get a chance to put it through its paces. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm just trying to come out with good quality reviews, man, and go back to some of these things that I may have passed up. So for whatever reason, though, really, I want to fly that ugly J10. I don't know why, man. Jeremy's like, that thing's ugly as all get out. And I already have a Eurofighter, so I can't really justify,
the intake,
because it's just a Chinese version of a Eurofighter.
Got a smiling grin.
It's smiling, man. And I bet there's going to be no big difference between the J10 and the Eurofighter. I mean, it probably can't. So let me see. Charles McDaniel, did you send that to me by any chance? I'm just curious. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm curious to see that photo too.
Yeah, I want to see it. Oh, he says, I sent to Charles O'Daniel on Facebook. Okay, let me check my Facebook real quick, and we'll see if it
check your email too.
Landed. Let's see here. Who, me or you?
Yeah, check your email. I sent you a short that I did a little while ago that shows the difference between when I first started where I'm at now. Like, just to show the difference, because I thought that was pretty amazing myself. Going back to for beginners and stuff like that.
Okay.
And stuff. So I just thought that was pretty neat. But I sent it to you as a link.
Okay.
Take you to my YouTube though. So, but I just sent it to your email.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
Cool to share.
All right. Here, I'm trying to
chill out, Omar.
Hey, dude, I knew they were going to eat you alive when you said that. I was like, yep, they're going to eat that.
Yeah, it's like no difference.
More crashing.
There's a huge difference.
Charles, I'm not that's funny. I'm not seeing it.
I used to pile them in.
I'm not seeing
them in, man. However I got it on the ground, I got it on the ground.
Man, my Facebook is so messed up. There'll be times where Jeremy sends me stuff and I can't see it right away.
Yeah.
Let me see here. And then I'll check.
You have me blocked, you jerk.
No, I would never, man. Never do that. I mean, not never, but no, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. And you can also email it to me too, and I can take a look at it. Let me see here. Okay, so Will, I see your stuff right here in the shorts. Let's see. How I landed RC Sequoia jets then versus now.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look at it. We'll take a gander at this and see what RC Pilot was talking about. Let's see. All right, well, you're putting yourself out there, dude. So
yeah, I'm putting myself out there.
Yeah, you put it out there, so you're gonna get what you get. All right, let's see.
Well, I know they're gonna roast me how I landed that thing.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go, guys. Let's see what Will's talking about over here. Okay. All right. Let's take a look. All right, here we go.
Yeah, that was stop at a place. But yeah, this is when I used to fly at that no, this was at JCAC actually.
Dude, that music is crazy.
Just piled it in. Like,
okay.
I just dropped it right on down. This is the video. This is the one you shot.
Oh yeah, I remember this one. This was the white one.
Yep.
Leave you short of the field. SU-27 heavy flight pack.
Yep.
All right, I'm watching.
You see what Johnston Henry said?
Very nice.
All
right.
Johnston Henry, what did he say? What he said?
He says Will's gotten way better. His crashes are less spectacular.
Yeah, I try not to give you guys too much to roll with. Man.
But you know what though? Hey guys, wait. Let's be fair. let's hold judgment, and we need to see this first, and then we can figure out what's going on.
Welcome back to the channel.
Oh, here we go.
First and foremost, guys, we have a MiG-15.
Phantom plane.
Yeah, Phantom.
Actually, a 17.
I acquired it secondhand, and I don't know who.
All right, here we go.
3-minute flight, guys. About 3 minutes on the clock.
It's gonna go
And
straight, friend.
I'm telling you,
All right,
that
here
was
we go.
fun.
Do it. We're gonna watch Phil.
I forgot to mention it has the split
Now remember what
Is that
Will
a
said. Let's see if
repainted
he's gotten
Avios?
better. Here we go.
flaps. It's gonna fly. It's gonna die.
No, that was actually with an SMC on my.
Taking off.
Yep, that was on the SMC. All right.
Oh, man. Yeah, fighting the wind a little bit there. Get the flaps up. Get it up in the air a little bit.
Yeah, the wind was pushing you around pretty good over there. And you
Yeah,
are
this
trimming
is a
the-
no gyro
It
flight.
looks like a little bit
This is
after.
an 11 RX receiver with no gyro.
Man, that wind.
All right.
No gyro, too.
Okay.
That is kicking my butt up there. Then I didn't have my trim sitting in the right place. I couldn't trim the plane
Sorry, I
out.
didn't turn that
I'm
off.
reaching across my transmitter to trim it. And it's
All
like,
right.
man,
Man, I got my trim in the wrong.
Clearly
Where'd it
lost
go?
him in the air.
Rolling with a
All right. So after that,
SMC in this thing, guys.
it was super gusty. Will's
yeah,
getting ready to
yeah.
land it. He's set up for the landing. Here we go.
He's gonna get me for sure. All right, bring it down across the line here. Man, I'm playing around with the trim all that time.
Snow River. It was the battery was all the way to the front.
Setting up for the landing. Here we go.
Did not want to land.
Let's see if Will has gotten better. Here we go.
So, yeah, that airplane needs some more nose weight.
That's what I said.
Come on, baby.
She just,
Stop.
I killed the power trying to get it to land. It didn't want to land.
She got it. Nope, she don't.
Yeah, it needs more nose weight. That looks like the Avios MiG that we. I don't recognize that scheme.
Yeah, I don't either. It
But
wasn't
it looks like one of the the AF models or Avios MiG
Man,
17s.
dang, Will.
That's a long
But they
Take
absolutely
that
need more nose weight than just the batteries.
Okay.
Here we go. But here,
I'm saying the same thing. Told me go around and
Some blue issue.
3120.
Yeah, I'll find
But
it. Glue it back in.
it just when I hit the power, it just did not seem like it was going to make a climb quick enough to dodge
Easy
those
fix.
tracks.
Easy fix.
So
I mean, it's a
I had to pick my poison.
plane that was handed down.
It's
Not that I would.
And that's pretty much the gist of that one right there. It wasn't a terrible crash or
No.
anything. But it was-
actually back together.
oh yeah, it was just where
Back
the
together, ready to fly.
it pulled out. Really,
Absolutely, like I said, make sure you put more weight in the nose. I put like 2 sticks of weight in the front, and
Oh,
then you'll
yeah.
have a plane. that
Sticks
doesn't have a
of weight,
problem.
dude. That's a lot of weight. That's 3 ounces per stick.
Just about.
Weight.
yeah. Now I had
you
that
need the
same.
nose. You need the nose weight, and that plane will be.
Let's see here. I was going to say I had that same airplane, and it flew amazing. I actually really enjoyed it a lot. And I mean, this was the Aerofoam one, of course. So I didn't have any problems with it. So it was actually a really good flying airplane. Let's see. I was trying to pull it up to see if so you guys could see the difference.
What does that look like? Is that like a hobby cane plane or what is that? Who makes that plane that I was just flying?
Can't hear you.
Yeah,
Who made that plane that you just saw? Do you have any idea who made that sucker? Because I mean, it's got free wing. It had a free wing. Well, it has a free wing ESC and EDF in it. There's a flight line
It looks
box.
like the AF. It looks like the AF model's MiG.
Yeah.
But it looks like somebody painted the tail red.
Yeah. Now this is the AF model one right here that I got from you guys from Banana Hobby, and
That's
you can.
one of them.
Yeah. I'm ready to fly.
Currently, we have a red scheme one, all red.
Yep. And you can
looks good.
take a
Great.
look at it right here.
You see it kind of.
This thing flies really good. This is no gyro or nothing like that. Just all stop.
So what is that? 90 mil?
Full throttle.
Yeah, it's a 90 mil.
Yeah, because that's what I have, a 90 mil.
Elevator.
It's the same thing.
It's the same plane.
Yeah, that's smooth.
But you
dude.
see
Who was it that come in
how
the
smooth
lobby?
that thing is?
There's just a variety
Oh,
of
now he's
schemes.
just trying to
Who
show
would say
off.
something like that?
No, man, it was just a smooth flying airplane. It was just, hey, look, I had my
That's
CG
hands
right,
off the
you
stick
know.
flying right there, boys and
Look at
girls.
that.
It's trimmed
Dude,
out.
I'm pushing
Hands
the
off
battery
front.
all the way to the
That's
front.
crazy.
So
Yeah,
look,
still
we're
needs
cruising
more
around right
weight.
now with throttle. Man, I'm gonna give it a little bit
It's
more.
it's
aileron
the
right
way
there.
that those wings
Little
are with them
barrel
being
roll.
cantered
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And
It
check,
has-
and
it
check
has
this,
Man,
Will.
that is smooth.
different
Check the
feel.
landing.
Yeah, let's see what the landing look like. But you-
Nice.
And you want to have speed brakes open up.
Yep, there you go.
That's a nice bird.
It's just a very floaty airplane,
I
man.
like it. That's a keeper.
Hey Bill, I bet he had safe on.
And look, that was, man, I never had safe.
It's
Look, you
barely
can look.
just
You
not-
see any safe in there? Look at that rat's nest right there. Look.
Bill
Even
said
one.
he bet you had a gyro in it.
Nah, dude. That was, well, I wasn't even
Yeah,
believing in
safe on.
gyros then. Look inside of there. Look, you see the receiver right there. There's no gyro or anything like that. That's
Man,
the box
that's
with
one of
models.
them new safe receivers, man. What you
And
talking
then that's the HRB right there. So you can see that was where my CG, and that's where my CG line was right here. So it was
Let's,
well
check
balanced
it and
out.
see what we got. And
Nice.
that was 3
That was a
minutes
good flying
and
airplane,
just
man.
in
I
time,
actually
so-
really liked it. I sold it. I sold that because I was going to turbines, and so I kind of sacrificed that thing. But that MiG, guys, if you don't have a MiG, man, you got to have at least one of those. They're pretty awesome. He said safe, but yeah, guys. So let me see. I'm just running through. Last show we had Sean on there with ScaleRCEngines.com. So you got to make sure you check him out. That was pretty cool. If you missed that show last week, go through and check that video out. It was awesome. It went out pretty well. But we're gonna wrap it up. Another cool thing, guys, I wanted to tell you guys. I've got a 5% off coupon at hobbyking.com. That's the code right there, RCPR 5% off. That is
Yeah,
all
it
the
is,
code. And that is good for everything there. I noticed. I was like, heck yeah. So it's good on their new what is it, Catalina? It's good on everything. So if you're thinking about buying anything from Hobby King, that 5% off is going to help you out. It's better than nothing. And it takes the edge off of shipping. So yeah. So that was something that actually happened. And I was very happy about that. So that was kind of always in the works. And also, if you look down at the bottom, we got RaleighHobbyShop.com that has been scrolling. Them dudes have been taking care of us for, God, since I started the channel, honestly. Well, almost, yeah. So, but yeah, I'm very happy about that. So good people over there at RaleighHobbyShop.com. Check them out. Say hello to Tim. And man, I think that's pretty much it, dude. We had a bunch of stuff dropped. And also, if you look right here, we got Hamilton's hangar. There we go, right there. Customs creations right there. Check out him right there. There we go. Right there.
It's over here.
It's on that side of me.
Right there. Yeah. Check out him and his customs creations. He can make it all. And I think he was at an event I saw. And so help him out as well. He's a local dude. And again, the X-Fly C-17 has landed almost. It's almost here. And so stay tuned.
It's here. It's here.
Yeah, there you go.
I got video of the unloading.
Oh, you got video of the unloading. Oh, man. But before we go, wow, look at that.
Unloading.
So that is
Unloading.
Banana Hobby right there. And that's all the
Give me
airplanes.
that location.
Man,
Unloading. The address is 8825.
I love it. Well, before we go, Jeremy, I need to know something. And Will, I need you to think about this too. Guys in the channel, I need y'all to key up and think about this. It's important. Here we go. Biggest RC airplane flops. Let's go. Which ones? I'll go first. The biggest RC airplane flop that I saw was an SR-71 little 40 millimeter by E-Flight.
Ooh.
I'm going to say that was a big flop. It was definitely a flop.
I think you took everybody's answer.
Well, no, there's more. There's
Not
more.
mine.
Let's see here. All right, I'm jumping into the comments. And
Mine's the Draco.
oh, for sure. Absolutely. The Draco was the biggest flop, dude. Not only was that thing heavy, it flew like trash. Ooh, 3120 downforce says the B2 Twin 30 millimeter by E-Flight. I don't have that one yet. I haven't flown it yet. I need to fly that.
I would probably say the that E-Flight F14. Did they do it? Did that F14, that little small one?
Yeah, Oh, yeah. Bill Wagner said that too. Yep, for sure. The F-14, yeah, that was a flop. It thing was expensive for what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
it was very expensive.
another Draco right there.
Another Draco, dude. And the E-Flight version, not the Banana Hobby. I was extremely impressed with the Banana Hobby one because that
the Banana Hobby one flew
that
good.
little 40 twin 40 Banana Hobby scored right on that one on the X-Fly.
But that one E-Flight did, that thing was garbage. Red
livery is a deal breaker for me. Boom. The Pitts biplane version, I would agree too, man. Keith, I agree, man. It was definitely a flop.
Rocks.
Yeah. I've just got to figure out how to hand toss mine, and I know it's going to be a crazy performer. So
you got to Uncle Rico it.
Man, I don't have Uncle Rico. I just got Uncle James. You know what I mean? So I don't know how to do that. I need to get it and like sling it. Let's see here. And F-18 by X-Fly mainly because it was my first RC plane that I didn't do my research on and crashed it and broke it. That is a big, the F-18, you definitely got to fly that. Any F-18, you got to fly it. Like they're just different. They're just tough.
The other plane was the Bison.
Oh, that Bison was it was such a big flop. They had to quickly come out with a version 2. I saw they have like a version 2 out now.
That was worst airplane.
Yeah. It's interesting to sit back and look at all these bad airplanes and you hear about it, and you're kind of like, man, it had such a good shot. I'll agree with Bill Wagner. The FMS J11 SU version, huge, expensive flop. Not only was it heavy, but you would barely get 3 minutes of flight out of that thing.
I don't understand. I don't understand why the J11 underperformed the SC-27. It's the same exact airframe. I don't get what made it so, and it's FMS built.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the difference. Maybe it's the weight of the paint.
I think so, maybe. But hey, look, I wanted to cover that before we left, guys, and I thought that'd be fun to run over real quick and see. But guys, certainly appreciate y'all coming into the channel. Jeremy, I definitely appreciate you sharing that beautiful jet behind you, the 1/8 0.5 scale back there. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, man. And
one more look at at that top of that thing.
Yeah, guys, look at that thing.
Pull this thing over here.
It's just a really good, and that's an 80 Newton jet, by the way. And
look at that thing.
Look at that. And that's paint, guys. So 4 screws in the wing, call it a day. And so you guys that are big EDF flyers, I think you could stick a 120 in there with a little modification. That 120 on 14S or 12S is going to give you everything you need.
Wait, so that's an EDF?
No, it's turbine. But some of the viewers and hobbyists wanted to see about pursuing it as an EDF.
Yeah, they were asking if you could stick one in there. So
I'm pretty sure it'll be a really light frame once you gut it of everything else.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it of fuel tank, all the other stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that thing will turn pretty light.
Yeah, that's a good thought. I never really thought about that either. So
yeah.
But guys, really appreciate you guys coming in here to the channel. RC Pilot Will, good to have you in here. Always a pleasure having Jeremy Stolt in here. And yeah, man, guys, you guys have to go out there and check out some of the channels. Got to check out Jeremy Stolt flying that JS39. It just hits differently, man. It just flies differently. Check that video out.
That's on Banana Hobby's YouTube.
The air. Yep. It's on Banana Hobby's YouTube. Yep.
So, Bobby, I have an announcement to make.
Man, I was going to say something funny. I'm glad I didn't.
No.
I was going to say something crazy, dude. Jeez. Man, I had to check myself real quick. I'm sorry.
So, I'm also answering Bill Wagner's question he had up in the comment earlier. So, as far as I know of, the new Turnigy Volt X high voltage packs will be dropping somewhere around the 23rd or maybe before or after, but somewhere in that neighborhood. What I heard that they're gonna be letting those out. I'm just telling you guys that here on the channel. Of course, I'm not gonna go and post saying that on my channel, but I do like them. You guys will get to see me test them out on the AF model F22 Raptor. You can find that Banana Hobby. And so yeah, guys, I gotta say is that those packs they held up. They held up. They they give me the same full throttle push at the bottom of the pack as they did at the top of the pack, which was pretty impressive. So of course, me and Bobby gonna put them up against the SMCs, but you guys will get to see that later too. So we're gonna see which one of them is gonna push the plane fastest. One of them's gonna get a better vertical climb. And we're going to use the same plane to do it. So I'm trying to talk Bobby into using his F16 to do it, but he's acting scared of it.
No, I'm acting like I don't want to tear anything nice up. That's what I'm doing.
Man, hey Bob, I flew. Another matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you guys this, and it wasn't on. It's not on camera, so it probably didn't happen. But I flew those 7,500 milliamp hour packs in that F14 Tomcat.
Well, there we have it.
And it took right off the ground. So that lets you know they're not heavy for what they are.
Yeah. They're not. They just look big, but they're not really heavy. So
yeah, they look big, but they're not heavy. And those are 7,500 milliamp hours.
Well, Mountain RC, I really appreciate that. He says, thank you for putting this show together every week, Bobby. No, man, that's my pleasure. It's even more fun when I got all of these guys in here right here, and I got you guys there at home and jumping in it, man. So it's been really good, and I'm just having fun, man. So this revolution of the channel is so much fun, having Jeremy on here and having Will on here and having the guest on here and having Tim on here and that kind of thing. Tim's not here because he's at a jet event right now. So, but other than that, guys, I'm going to say we're going to punch out of here. We got Hamilton's Hanger. I gave you a big shout out, Hamilton, over there, by the way. So,
and he missed it. You missed it.
Dude. He missed it.
You missed it.
Now you got to go back and watch the whole thing like I had to.
Yep. That's right. You got to go back and watch it over now.
Yep. But and then we had Carrie. We had Carrie with Banana Hobby here as well. She chimed in and popped in. So yeah, man, just a great show. By the way, I'm gonna give you guys a shameless plug too. I don't know if we have a bunch of readers. If you like good books, I'm gonna tell you this book right here. Oh, it's gonna show up backwards. It's called Guts and Gunships. What it was really like to fly combat helicopters in Vietnam back in the day. Good read right there. Good read. So if you like airplane related stuff, helicopter related books, and if you want to read something like that, it's by Mark Garrison, but it's called Guts and Gunships. Awesome book. So expand your horizon. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I think we're done here, boys and girls. We're going to punch on out of here. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Have a safe Friday. And other than that, I think we're going to be out of here. And with that said, Will, you got anything?
Enjoy your flying.
Will, we got to buy you. I got to get you one of these microphones, dude.
I moved away. Yeah. I was saying everybody enjoy. I
moved away, guys.
It's like every show, dude. He's like in and out. We gotta.
All right. So I'll buy a mic. Okay, I'll stop.
I gotta get you a mic, man.
So I was just saying, everybody enjoy your weekend. Have some good flights out there. No crashes. Yeah, I was falling asleep while Bobby was talking about that book. But hey, go check out that book. I showed you guys. That's pretty cool.
Hey, that's because he doesn't read. You got to read, man. You got to expand your horizon. You can't stare at the words and think they're going to tell you. You got to crack this thing open and read. You got to read. You got to read your manual, sir.
Yeah, you do have to read your manual.
As we're talking books.
Look, there you go. Look, we got another reader. Will's over there watching cartoons.
Where's my literature at? I got some literature around here somewhere.
Will's got nothing, guys. He's got nothing over there. He's over there watching cartoons.
But yeah, and now, guys, so just look for that video. I'm going to be dropping that video with the AF model F22 with the Turnergy high voltage packs around the 23rd.
I don't even read my plane manuals.
Say what? What happened?
Dustin Henry or Donston Henry I don't even read my plane manuals.
Hey, in all honesty, I don't either.
Hey,
I don't
Hey,
either.
you just go out there and just throw the pack in it and wing that joker, man.
Hey, the only thing I ever read in a manual is the CG, and that's pretty much it. Honestly, I will look. That's literally the only thing I read. But
I'll read the CG, and if it's a fighter jet, I'll read where the neutral position for the tails.
and rate.
Everything else, I just roll with it. If it's a
Scale RC
sport
works
jet,
because
I
you
just
need
find
rate.
out the CG, and that's it.
That's right. Oh, by the way, Scale RC works. By the way, gave you a big shout out earlier in the show too as well. So yeah, guys. Other than that, look, we're done. Let's punch on out of here, and we're gonna let these good folks get back to their families. And y'all be safe. Y'all have a good one, and we're out of here just like that.